before spring break, okay? And so it's very similar to like these problems from the test, factors of this to add to this, okay? So we're still going to be working trinomial, 3-part problems, okay? However, what do you guys notice about the front numbers now?
There's a number coming.
There is finally a number other than 1, right? Everything on our test, R squared had a 1 in front, P squared had a 1 in front, right? So a lot of the trinomials that we worked on our test before spring break, we put a 1 in front of it, okay? There was always a 1, and it was just factors of this to add to this, okay? It's the same concept, factors of this to add to this, but now we're throwing a number up front, okay? So instead of just finding factors of 4 that get you 29, which obviously are not going to work, right? 1 times 4 and 2 times 2, there's no way to get a 29 out of that. What we're going to be looking at are factors of 7 and factors of 4 that get us a 29, okay? All right. So kind of reviewing real quick. On your test, one of your test question was, is FOIL the reverse, is factoring reversing the FOIL process? And your answer should have been true, right? Yes. FOIL and factoring are the opposites. They're undoing each other, okay? So, a couple tests ago I gave you this problem. What do you do on this problem? You're going to FOIL, right? Okay, and you're going to have to know how to FOIL today. You're going to be doing a lot of checking today to make sure things work out right. So we've got 2x times 3x. 6x squared, good. 2x times 5.
Plus 7.
Good, 10x. Negative 1 times 3.
Negative 3x.
Negative 3x, so we're distributing that negative 1. And then negative 1 times 5.
Negative 5.
Negative 5. Is that everybody recalling that so far? And then what do we do for our last step?
Add them together.
Good. Add up the middle, combine like terms. Okay, so you got 6x squared plus 7x minus 5. Okay? So today, I'm going to give you a problem like this, and we're going to figure out how do you get this out of it. Okay? So that's what we're going to be doing today. Okay? All right. When we have a number out front, we are going to be using the guess and check method. Guess and check. Okay? Now, with this being said, if you had Algebra 1 last year, okay, they may have taught you something different, like AC, multiply, or pay back and borrow stuff, borrow and pay back stuff. I mean, there's all these different methods, okay? What I'm going to teach you is what all cathedral teachers will teach you all 4 years, okay? So if you learn it now, next year, it's just like, oh yeah, review and quick, yeah, I remember what to do, I remember what to do. So all the teachers will teach it the same, all 4 years for you, to keep it the same. But if you are working with a tutor, a National Honor Society tutor, private tutor, it doesn't matter, or you're working with someone in a different upper level, they may have different methods that they use. If they use something other than guess and check, do not use it, all right? Say, no, 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 stop. That's not what my teacher's showing you. She's showing me this, and this is how I have to do it, okay? I'm showing you what is truly going to be kind of the quickest, easiest method to get there, but most importantly, it's what you're going to use for 4 years, okay? All right, so number 1, okay, there's a couple of things we're going to look at, okay? First thing we're going to do is we're going to check signs, okay? And so when I say check signs, we're going to look at this last sign and try to figure out kind of what combination do we need to get the middle. Now this one's kind of easy because it's all positives. So I'm going to tell you right now, we're going to have all positives, okay? But what I'm talking about here, okay, to get factors of 4, right? What would be factors of 4?
1 times 4 and 2 times 2.
Okay, so 1 times 4 and 2 times 2, right? Would you guys agree that both of these need to be positive to get a positive here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, could they technically also be a negative? Yeah, okay, so you can either have a positive times a positive or a negative times a negative here to get a positive 4. Does that make sense? Okay, now, why would I throw out the negatives though? Not extra work.
In case of the 49x was supposed to be negative?
Right, so if my two options are a positive, positive, or a negative times a negative, right? Look to the middle. What do you got in the middle? So you're going to use the positives. Does that make sense? Okay, so in this case, I'm only looking at positives. It'll make a little more sense when we get to the negative numbers. You'll see why we do that, okay? So right off the bat, I know that my inside signs are going to be positives, okay? Now, next thing we need to do, now that we have our signs under control, is I told you we're going to list factors here, just like we were doing, but we're also now going to list factors of the A value, or your front number. Okay, so what are factors of 7?
1 times 7.
Okay, 1 times 7, okay? Okay, so now, if I go back up here, okay, remind me, how did we get these two middle numbers here? Where did this 10x come from?
2x times
2x times 5. If I'm thinking FOIL, aren't those my outside numbers? Outside? Okay, where did this 3x come from?
5. Negative 1 times 3.
The inside, right? So I multiplied outside numbers and multiplied inside numbers. Does that make sense? Okay? You're going to do the same concept down here. Okay, and kind of pay attention here. All right, it's going to take a minute. Do outside numbers first. So I'm going to use my first two factors. 1 times 4. What's 1 times 4? 4. What's 7 times 1?
7.
Can a 4 and 7 be added or subtracted to get a 29?
No.
No. Okay, so then we go to the next one. Outside, 1 times 2? 7 times 2.
14.
Will that work? Will that add or subtract to get a 29?
No.
No. Okay? So if you hit a situation where you've tried your options and neither one work, you need to take one set and flip your numbers. I don't care which set. It doesn't matter. You can take this guy and call it 4-1, and obviously 2-2 is not going to flip. I mean, it flips it, but it doesn't really change. Or you can flip this guy and call it 7-1 now. I don't care which one you flip. It really does not matter. Okay? I, a lot of times, will automatically just flip the one where there's only one I got to rewrite just because I'm lazy and that seems easier. Okay? All right. Now you do the same thing again. Outside numbers. 7 times 4. What's 7 times 4? 28. What's 1 times 1?
1.
So 28 and a 1. Could that give me a 29 if I add or subtract?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I think I have found something that's going to work here. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to work the 7 and 1 and the 1 and 4. Okay? I think this is going to give me that 29. Okay? Now, front number just stays in the front spot. Okay? This is not rocket science. Literally, the front numbers are your front numbers here. Back numbers are your back numbers. Okay? So 7x, because there's that x squared there still. So 7x, and then 1x, or you could just call it x. It doesn't matter. Okay? So front numbers go in front. Back numbers go in back. So I have a +1 and a +4. Okay, so this is my guess. This is what I think is going to work. Okay? So now you're going to check it and make sure it works. Checking is no longer an option. You have to check. Okay? And you'll see why as we go through some of these problems why we're checking. So if I go here to here, what do we have there? 7x squared. 7 times 4. Good. So 28x. Make sure you keep your variables in play there. 1 times 1. 1x. And then 1 times 4 is 4. So now I'm just double checking. Will this get me to here?
Yes.
But yeah, when I put these guys together, that would give me a 29. So that works. So this guy right here is my answer. Okay. All right, let's try it again. Okay, it's going to take a couple of problems before we get it down. Let's try it again. Okay, first off, what are my sign options on this guy? If I have a +6, what are my two options? Positive, positive, or a? Okay, which one do you think I'm probably going to go with? Positive, positive, right? Okay, because I have a positive in the middle. Okay, so I know right off the bat here, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a plus and a plus. Okay, all right, factors of 5.
1 times 5.
1 times 5, factors of 6.
1 times 6. 2 times 3.
Good, guys. Okay, all right, so now start your process. Outside, inside. Outside, 1 times 6 is? 6. 5 times 1? Okay, so can a 5 and a 6 add up to 13? No, that's 11, doesn't it? Okay, okay, go to the next one. 1 times 3 is? 3. 5 times 2 is? 10. So can a 3 and a 10 add up to 13? Yeah, okay, so I think I've got something here. Okay, so in this one we didn't have to worry about flipping because we found it right away. So I'm going to try 1 and 5 and 2 and 3. Okay, now 1 and 5. Again, those are your front numbers, so write them out front. So it says 5x squared, so I have a 1x and a 5x. Okay, and then on the back side, I'm gonna have a 2 and a 3, but what do I have to attach to it? A y. Good. So I have a 2y and a 3y. Okay, so y on the back side, x is on the front sides. Everybody okay with that so far? Okay. All right, let's check. So we're gonna get 5x squared. Again, checking is no longer an option. It will be shown on all tests and quizzes. All right. Plus 3xy. Make sure your variables are looking good there. Now go to the middle. 2y times 5x. That would be 10xy. And then 2y times 3y. 6y squared. So now, does that middle look like it's gonna work out okay for us? Yeah, okay, so this would have been my answer right here. Okay? Just a side note, it is okay, just put an x instead of a 1x, I don't care what you do there. Okay, you can put a 1 in front if that makes you feel better, or you can put an x if you like that way better. Okay? Alright. Let's try it again here. First